Oh, hello. I'm just double checking to see if I am live. Um, I think I'm live. I think I am live. Am I live? Who knows? Am I live? Yes, I'm live. Beautiful. Hi. This is totally, completely random. I am live in Instagram and in my Facebook group, and I just wanted to discuss something that just came up for me. I have just got off a client session, a client call, and it went super good, super well, and I am so pleased. She's making some amazing progress, but something came up and it kind of needs to be addressed because it happens to you, it happens to me, and it happens to anyone who is on a journey of self discovery, on a journey of weight loss, plant based lifestyle, it may be changing your lifestyle. If you have ever tried to change something in your lifestyle or your surroundings, sorry, I think I've talked too much today, then self sabotage comes up. And we don't want that, right? And self sabotage shows up in many ways. So for some people, you could be going along your journey, going along your day to day, maybe losing weight or trying to gain weight or transitioning to a plant based lifestyle. And something else always seems more important. Have you ever had that? So you're going out for lunch with friends, and that's more important than making sure that you're eating along your goals, along your guidelines. And that's okay. Maybe you need to go and take someone to the shop, or you need to go and take them to school. Maybe your kids, you need to take them to school. That's more important than sitting down and having a healthy plant-based meal, right? Perhaps you desire acceptance. This one is so ingrained in us so deeply that we don't even know that it's there. Self sabotage comes up a lot for everyone, but a lot of the time we don't realize that it's playing a huge part in our day to day actions, in our day to day behaviors and decisions. And desiring self acceptance comes so deep that we don't even realize it's there. So, do you feel like if you change someone else's perspective or your situation or your identity is going to change? And if the answer is yes, then this is highly likely to be your self sabotaging trait. Because if you desire acceptance from someone, something, some board, some government, some society, friends or family, then the reason why you're self sabotaging, the reason why you're feeling so stuck in this position is because that desire for acceptance is holding you so tightly to what you already know works that you're scared to change. Tell me if this is making sense. Let me know in the comments. Also, hi if you're watching live. Hi if you're watching on a replay. Let me know, because I don't know if I am actually live. I'm just doing this and hoping for the best. It says live, but sometimes that means that it's not live. Anyway, desiring acceptance comes so deep, and I'll talk about the other one in just a moment, but desiring acceptance comes so deep that we don't even realize it. Sometimes we desire acceptance from our friends or from our family, from society. Sometimes we try to do things so desperately that we cling on to that desire so hard, and that comes about by participating in activities, behaviors, or diets or a lifestyle that we don't agree with because it's not in line with our goals. So maybe you want to reach a plant-based diet. Maybe you want to be 100% vegan or 100% whole foods plant-based. But in doing so, that's going to separate you away from your friendship group. Maybe your friends, they love, or your family, maybe they love a barbecue. Maybe they love going out for dinner or for lunches. And you going plant-based is going to change where you're going to have to go for lunch. Maybe it's going to change their perspective of you. Maybe they're not going to understand who you are. Maybe you're not going to understand who you are as a plant-based leader. as a plant-based female powerful person, maybe you don't know who you're going to be because you don't know how you're going to act, you don't know how hungry you're going to be, you don't know how to balance a plant-based lifestyle. And this shows up in desiring acceptance because you're desiring acceptance from your friends or your family or society, and the resistance to change is so strong, but you don't know because it's embedded so deep. For example, my client today, we really dug super deep, and we realized that she is in a sense in a place where she wants to connect with her siblings, and that's great, but in order for her to stay there, the dynamics need to remain the same. If she starts to go in the direction towards her goals, that is going to shift because their perspective on her or the family dynamics is going to change. For her to reach her goals, something that means so much to her, which is her family dynamic, is going to have to shift and change, and moving that is scary. Moving that then puts another person down, or it makes them feel inadequate because they are no longer the center of attention. Really understanding where self-sabotage comes from is super important, because without understanding it, acknowledging it, and putting behaviors in place and actions in place to make sure that the self-sabotaging method or reason isn't going to overpower your behaviors is just super important. Because otherwise, if you don't get to grips on your self-sabotaging trait or behaviors, you're not going to realize it's there, but also you're not going to be able to get out of that way, get out of that resistance. Have you ever tried losing an X amount of weight or tried to go plant-based, but things keep coming up? Maybe maybe things are more important, or maybe you want to be able to go out for lunch with your friends at lunchtime and without feeling judgment, but you want to be accepted. Or perhaps it's because you've been doing so well lately that you want to reward yourself. I've done so well at losing weight, I'm just going to eat this bag of, this small bag of chips, or I'm just going to eat this small little thing, or a chocolate bar. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that moment where you've gone, oh, I've done so well throughout the week, this weekend I'm going to have a big blowout, I'm going to have takeaway, I'm going to have alcohol with my friends, we're going to go out to the pub, I've done so well at being plant-based, I'm going to have a burger this weekend. I've done so well, I'm just going to fill in the blank. How does that show up for you? That's another very toxic self-sabotaging trait. And the thing with self-sabotage is it's programmed in us to hold tight, so tightly, something that we've been holding on to. We just don't realize that it's there. We don't realize that that connection has been made. So how does self-sabotage show up for you? Maybe it's in a different way. Perhaps it is a desiring for acceptance, maybe in society, maybe in your friendship group or your family. Maybe shifting that is going to really change the family dynamics. Maybe it's going to make your sibling feel inadequate. Maybe it's going to put you at the center of attention instead of your other friend. That one friend in the group that wants that main place. Maybe it's going to shift there because you're now someone new. It comes up in so many ways, guys. The toxic part of it is that we don't acknowledge it. So I want to hear and see what your toxic self-sabotaging trait is. And I want to help you break that down. So if you're new here or you've just tuned in, wait until this video gets posted, watch it through, and let me know what your self-sabotaging trait is. Because as soon as we start breaking it down, you're going to see yourself skyrocket in the other direction because you wouldn't have realized that there's something holding you back. This was such a powerful for me and my client today. I'm so proud of her. She has uncovered some amazing insights into her day-to-day life, into her traits, her behaviors. This is 9 minutes long already, so I'm going to cut it off there, guys. But just notice it, figure out what it is, and we can work with that, okay? Comment below what you think your self-sabotaging traits are, and I will do my best to help you work around that, okay? Let me know, because it might come as a surprise. Anyway, lovely to see you. It was nice to jump on a random live. Take care. Bye-bye. See you. Ciao for now.